Hello. I had such an incredible amount of information pouring into me in my shower this morning, which really cleared some things up in my mind. So I am going to use the Twin Flame label initially just to kind of set the background. But I do know that not everyone believes there is such a thing, and that's cool because honestly, I think labels of any sort can cause damage, and the Twin Flame label is no exception. There are people who have endured literal abuse because they told themselves this was their twin flame, and so they had to. No, that's not part of the journey, but not everyone understands that part of that journey is to put themselves to a certain level of self-respect and self-love where they wouldn't accept that. They may receive that kind of behavior from a twin flame, but the idea is to say, wait a minute, this is not how I should be treated, and now I'm going to set a boundary. Also, there are people who have passed up partners that would be perfect for them because some unscrupulous reader has told them they have a twin flame that they should wait for. They are delaying living their lives and experiencing love because of that label. So the only reason I am using that label now is because of what comes with the twin flame journey. You know, if you notice I say journey kind of weird, it's because I don't like the word from being overused on The Bachelor, but it is, after all, a journey. So if you know about twin flames, you know that there are huge differences between them. It could be religion or spiritual beliefs differing. It could be different cultures, big gaps in age, very different views of male and female roles, maybe people that have never considered being attracted to someone of the same sex. I mean, there's a whole list of things that could be different. There's obstacle after obstacle for twin flames to overcome. And it's not supposed to be an easy thing to do because they have to learn that they are strong enough to keep going, dedicated enough, and that they're capable enough of overcoming those obstacles. So with that lead-in of the huge differences, I am going to now quit referring to my person as my twin flame, just because I don't like the labels. And he will ever after in this video, unless I forget and screw up, just be my person. So I was told by my spiritual team very early, after maybe 3 or 4 weeks of having met my person, that this was a significant person in my life, gave me that label that I'm not going to use anymore. And I was told there was not supposed to be a running away from difficulty, that there were a lot of very important things to be gathered from this experience. And so I hung in, even though everything didn't go smoothly from the start. And eventually I knew that the challenges were leading us somewhere to a joint mission. And you know, I don't want anyone ever to get hung up on what is my purpose, what is my mission, because for a lot of us, it's just being us, sharing our energy, sharing who we are, hopefully sharing some positivity, but it can't always be that way. That's not life. But I did receive information that there was a mission we were working toward. And it was important to me, but not more important than trying to figure this crazy stuff out. And so I kind of put it to the side. And then more came in finally today to make me understand where I had gone wrong. Because I put it to the side thinking, well, how can I share anything of importance if we don't ever come together? Wouldn't that kind of defeat the whole purpose? Because the mission was that these two people with huge differences would realize, despite all that, despite all the opposition, that their hearts were firmly engaged and that they loved each other unconditionally. And they would show that to the world, spread that good vibration, and also hope and inspiration to other people who may have let love go by because they couldn't hang in there and fight all the people against them, overcome all the obstacles that had been laid out for them. So to me, it was like, how can I do the mission on my own? Because I have no success to show here, which is not a great way of looking at it, because for both of us, there is a vast amount of success from having dealt with the triggers, done the healing, and become better versions of ourselves. So it's not like there isn't anything to hold out to others, but you get this thing in your mind about the outcome being the most important thing. Not necessarily, not on this journey, because it's more about healing the crap that we've been running away from. It's more about growing. It's more about becoming different people that not only others will be proud of, but that we, most importantly, can be proud of, looking back and seeing how we have changed and seeing that we could accomplish incredible things by being willing to wade through the hurt, the pain. So today in the shower, I was thinking about my person, and that's not unusual. I think about my person all the time. He's just deeply embedded in my heart, even though we've been in separation for a much longer time in the time since we met than we have had to spend any time together. This is something that's so hard to explain to someone who hasn't had the same experience. How can you want to hang in there for someone that you don't even spend time with? How can you have this affection? How can you want this still? People don't get it. So I just started talking about how I understand there have to be legitimate reasons for the separation. One or both of us must not be ready. There must still be obstacles that need to be cleared. God, I wish that the separation was over because I miss my person. And then I let my ego kick in. How can you be saying that? How can you miss someone that you've barely spent time with? How can you say you love this person when you barely know him? Well, the answer was the sweet spot, where logic takes a hike and I am just in my heart. And it is in those moments that I know I love this person. I love this person despite not having had much time with him. How can that be? Because I've loved this person a gazillion lives. Somehow I can connect with the essence of this person, and this is nothing to question. When I'm in the sweet spot, I don't question it. I love this person. I sure look forward to the time that we can come back together with all the healing, all the pain behind us. That I can tap into my heart and know without any question, I do. I do love this soul. Now, all that is a lot of lead in to why I decided, no, the mission is on. I've been putting it off because I've been waiting to come together with my person, but the mission is on because think of how much easier it is to talk about love where you don't listen to society, love where you don't care how many differences there are when you're together. Of course, that's easier. I kept waiting for that, thinking, well, I have to have something to show for why other people should trust their hearts and not their egos and not society. And it hasn't happened yet. Today, I realize it doesn't have to have happened, because while it would have been easier to say, see, people, this is where it leads you. Oh, it's wonderful. We're past all that shit. It's more sincere to say that unconditional love can actually happen even without ideal circumstances. And then I got this example in my thoughts of what unconditional love is. And you know it's very overused. A lot of people like to puff up their chests in pride and say, oh, I love unconditionally, but they really don't. And that's okay. People can say anything they want. But the example I got was of a situation in a Nazi concentration camp. I didn't get names. I was just told of a male soldier, I guess he would be, that interacted with a certain family that was being held prisoner and eventually came to love the daughter. And of course, that would have been taboo. I'm sure he didn't share it with anyone. And then there came a circumstance where a plan that the soldier had been formulating could actually take place. He loved this girl with all of his heart. He knew what a chance he was taking, but he made it possible for the family to escape. I didn't get any more details than that, other than that he was executed for doing this. That's unconditional love. When you love someone so much that you want to set them free, and that's whether they are still going to be with you or not. You just want them to have peace and freedom. Here's where I have to try to get back on track, but I think that was an important aside. So how would I start my mission that I realize now I'm not supposed to be waiting on? By telling you this. Society has a lot of opinions. Your ego has a lot of opinions. In fact, you might as well just put your ego into the same category as society. These are opinions you don't have to listen to. Just listen to your heart. If you love someone, you love them. And that's whether society approves or not. That's whether their family approves. With my person, I have had to deal with a huge age difference. And I'm not talking huge as in 5 or 10. I'm talking 25 years. And so I have had to address whether I am up to being able to deal with being called a cougar. And it wouldn't be a fair label anyway if I understand how cougar is defined, because I think that is just hooking up and wanting a boy toy and it has nothing to do with love. But, you know, people wouldn't think about, does she really love him? Does he really love her? They would think, how inappropriate, because that's what society does. Society judges. I've had to deal with the fact that with that much of an age difference, my looks are going to continue to go into the toilet as I get older. And can a younger man still love an older woman as the wrinkles become more than the rest of the smooth skin? And then I realized that me doubting that that was possible was me not giving my person credit for actually being able to love unconditionally, because none of that would matter if real love existed. That love isn't about the exterior, it's about what's inside, that light, that essence. I mean, I've had to deal with a shit ton of things to address. And I'm not going to say it's been easy, and I'm not going to claim to have not cried. The crying has not been a small thing. The anxiety has not been a small thing. The wondering if it would ever happen has not been a small thing. Building trust in my person and the universe has been incredibly hard for me, because my life hasn't exactly led me to trust anyone, not even myself. So now getting back to the mission. Whether I can share success and union with my person or not, I can just urge you to put your heart above your ego, above society, above your fear of being judged, above anything. Because society's going to have a different opinion 10 years from now on certain subjects. Your family made their own choices, and they have no right to tell you what yours should be. Your ego is trying to protect you by keeping you from exploring something that takes you way out of your comfort zone, that makes you feel very unsafe, and having to trust not only the universe and yourself, but another being to be gentle with your heart. There's so much that is scary about following your heart if you let it get to you. Is there anything more important than love? If you're thinking money, well, you're not in the same place I'm at. I'm not going to judge that. If you're thinking status, again, you're not in the same place as I am, and I'm not going to judge that. If you're thinking success, I don't think you're seeing the entire picture then, because what could be more successful than putting your ego aside, society aside, and following your heart? Shit, I know how rambling this was, and I think there was probably more I was supposed to address. All I can say is I'm glad that Spirit opened my eyes. We should be advocating forgiveness and independence from the opinions of others, which is freedom. Freedom to live without anyone else telling you how you should be doing that, and freedom to love whoever your heart decides it loves, whether it's approved of or not. I tried. I'll see if I can edit this into something decent. If not, hey, I changed my part and my hair looks kind of cool this way, and I'll just enjoy that. Bye.